Good day.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, everybody. It's time for some more Law Light, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And we are excited to be here, even if it's going to be just for a few minutes today. This is an abbreviated episode because, PJ, I have just got too many kids. I have convinced myself, I have finally persuaded myself I've got way too many kids.
I have to agree.
I have, just so you know why this is going to be an abbreviated episode, we went with Warren a week ago to move him into Western Kentucky University. Then over this past weekend, I moved Kate into an apartment in Bowling Green as she starts her master's degree in Bowling Green. And today I am headed to Murray, Kentucky to move Allie into school at Murray State University, only to be followed tomorrow by going to Louisville to move my son Ryan into University of Louisville.
That's why I stopped at 2.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, buddy, and in the middle of all this, we're only a month and a few days away from a wedding. So I'm going to be shoving off here as soon as we disconnect. Have you met the new person yet?
Tara?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you told her that you're the one with all the problems and that you'll be talking to her about your medical issues?
Not yet, but I think Amy kind of alluded to that because she immediately was like, "Oh, PJ makes horror films."
Oh,
but Tara's a horror fan, so
is
she
she really?
likes horror films. Yeah, and I was wearing a Halloween undershirt. Yeah. So
wait,
I think
you showed her your undershirt?
Well, I mean, I just kind of undid my top button to kind of show like, hey, I'm wearing a Halloween shirt.
All right. So it's her second day, and she's already seen your undershirt.
Right. We're already
PJ.
close.
All right. We were gonna play. I was gonna play a game with you today, since we kind of. But I see you didn't bring your cell phone with you.
I did not.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the game the next time. Okay. Because this is an abbreviated podcast today.
Right. And it involves a cell phone.
You have to have your cell phone. And do you have Google on your cell phone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you have it involves your cell phone and Google. Okay.
All right.
This is a little game that I play with my kids. All right. Kind of like the last time we had the application. Right. So I'm kind of like stepping up in my. In like hanging out with the kids type thing. I think a lot of it is they're getting ready to leave, so I'm like spending time with them, and then we're doing these dorky things, and I'm like, that would be great for the podcast. So anyway, next time, okay, not this episode, but the next episode when we're not abbreviated, all right, we will do the cell phone Google game.
Sounds good.
All right. Are you already getting geared up for it?
Oh, I'm already excited.
Yeah. Now, I want to say something. I noticed that one of our past guests has gotten fed up with Facebook. Did you see Benjamin Busch's post on Facebook where he says, "I am gone. I am off here. I am only keeping this open so people can communicate with me on Messenger." Did you see that?
No, I missed that.
Yeah. And so
he and I text each other every now and then, so I'll find out what happened.
He did, though, is he left a link to his one of his favorite poems that he had written that he said was very indicative of what's going on right now in society.
Right.
And I thought when I saw that, I was like, you know what? We need to share that because Ben was a great guest. That was like an unbelievable get you got for us there. And anyhow, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. All right, so the post from Ben says this: "It's time for me to go. I'll leave my messages on for desperate transmissions. Most of us wouldn't be able to find each other if I didn't. We don't write letters anymore, do we? I leave you with this poem of mine, From the Slippery Elm. it couldn't be more relevant. Take care, friends. All right?
Okay.
And here is the poem. All right? I'm going to read it to you.
All right.
It's not that long at all. And this will be, this is pretty cool. Just give this a listen. All right? I've begun a tunnel. You'd call it a hole. Its width is practical. It follows a clay vein, eases through smooth only as wide as my shoulders. The length can't be measured from where you live, and I'm sorry you'll never understand why. I gave up my name, closed my eyes, and went down. I've kept notes marked where I struck stone, turned, cut through the cemeteries, and drank from the walls of wells. I'm inching forward under all of you, beneath your basements and between the roots of trees. I've lost all sense of true north, and that's fine. I'm scraping my way into the valleys, where the soil goes deep and buries me like early man. I've left so many rooms behind after all these years, the size of me sleeping. You're welcome to use them. I'll never be back. Sometimes I come up at night, dragging pails of dirt, sit on the pile and stare at the stars. I see your homes, glowing embers where the forests were, and I want to tell you about all the layers of salt and silt and ash, all the times the surface has been drowned and burned. I don't want to be remembered as clean, just as an earthling without enemies or discrepancies. There are no nations underground, no armies and no flags. Sometimes, though, I can't be sure. I hear you all walking above me, and I love to imagine that you're wondering where I am. That is a thought-provoking poem by Benjamin Busch.
Very well written.
I saw that, and I meant to mention it to you yesterday when I saw you, but that is Ben's signing off of Facebook. So, most of us say, I'm not going to be here for a while. I'm taking a break, and we go out like that. Ben, on the other hand, leaves with a thought-provoking poem from The Slippery Elm.
Yeah, so. He's very much an artist.
Yes, yeah. So anyway, we are heading into some very exciting. You came in. We were supposed to start recording this 25, 30 minutes ago. I was on the phone with marketing people. Right. And I mean, it's always how are we getting the message out about what we're doing and how we're going about that. And some exciting things going on around here.
Yeah, I came in to tail end, but it sounded like you guys had a really positive.
Yeah, we did.
Phone call.
We did, and it's just trying to get the word out about what makes us different, and that's something that you and I always were talking about. What does make us different? Genuinely different.
Well, one of them, the people you were talking to, said that we had added something to the website that she's never seen in all her time doing this.
And that's just the beginning. That's the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I kind of like to think of what we're about to head out on as a firm as kind of like the last frontier.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting, and you're right there in the middle of
it,
helping us.
You're doing something right when you are being told by people in an industry who deal with this day in and day out that you're on the forefront of something that's something they've never seen before.
Right.
But definitely something that's going in the right direction.
Right. And you've been busy. You headed off to one of our other offices yesterday to Hartford to do some video work with some clients, right? And you've got a video here within the next 2 minutes.
Moments.
Is that right?
Now. Yeah.
Listen, this has been the episode about nothing. So when you introduce it, that's what we're going to say. It's the episode. I mean, we had little bits, and I was going to use this more as the introduction for our next one. But next time we have something to look forward to, the cell phone Google game.
The game.
You will bring that.
Yep.
You'll bring your phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have my phone
Okay.
with me. But hey, even though this one was going on 10 minutes, it'll be about 10 minutes probably. There's still some strong substance thanks to
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, one of the things we have to remember is that when people come onto onto Law Lite, and I mean, he was so on point with a lot of his legal issue, that we talked about.
Yeah.
But then just the whole ideas that he shared with us, we don't want to ever move on from our guests. We got to keep an eye on because what they leave us with is something important that we can learn from, and that's why when I saw that, I meant to say something to you yesterday. And that poem, I mean, it's thought-provoking.
I didn't see it. The big problem is I've got almost 5,000 friends on Facebook. I should probably purge a lot of them because
you also have
people on there I don't know.
A board back there with like 15 settlement proposals that are due too. So you're busy when you're at work. You're not just a Facebook scroller.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I know. You're a good guy.
Thank you.
All right, listen, to our listeners, we apologize. It's just one of those weeks where we are trying to fit in our recording of the podcast in between things. We promise you the content next week will be worth hanging on to and listening to. It'll be fun. I guarantee you we will laugh and have a good time, and we will always talk about something legal. But until then, this has been Travis and PJ on Law Light, brought to you by it's not brought to you by 530 Frederica Street. It's brought to you by Foreman, Watson, Holtree at 530 Frederica Street in the high-rise White Tower. See ya.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery of a sham, of a mockery of a travesty of two mockeries of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!